I wonder. Let's see if we can do it. Will the audio come through as well? Oh, I can probably just use that, right? We're gonna go webcam. We're gonna go this. We're gonna go speakers. Yeah, sure. Is this thing working? Will it let me? I don't know. How about that? That's not showing me anything. We'll just go here. Let's go here. We'll get started in 1 second to get started. Oh, I thought I already did. I selected this. And we got excellent. Let's just mute that for a minute. And then we're going to go back over here. I don't know if this is going to work. Let me just copy this. Okay, let's see if this is going to work, because I can't even monitor this. I'll check it right now. And then we're going to go here. We should be going on Facebook. It says live. There we go. Let me just take a look at this. And there's no audio. Oh. There is audio. Let me make sure it's coming from the correct. Yep. Looks pretty good. Alrighty then. So basically, no video today, just audio only. So we're treating this like a radio show. So if you're just driving and you're listening, that's probably the best way to do it. Anyways, it's not like you guys want to see my face, do you? Not really much going on there. Studio is kind of like a mess right now. I gotta clean it up. It's not like really bad. It's just like it's not what do you call it? Public worthy at the moment. And so I was thinking last night. Yesterday I was thinking about what am I going to talk about on today's show. And so I went and consulted with my lovely ChatGPT. our favorite artificial intelligent consultant, and I was like, "Hey, ChatGPT, what's I basically asked, what's new and exciting?" Here, let me find the actual question. What's new and exciting in the world of filmmaking, cameras, lenses, sound, and lighting equipment? If you can please, I didn't say please, but if you can please list the topics to discuss for a live stream podcast morning show. My niche is about gear used for filmmaking and creating social media content, as well as audio and video podcasts. So, you got to take ChatGPT with a grain of salt. You can't always fully 100% confide in its response. So you got to do your own research as well, to an extent. Now, what it gave me is pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. Not necessarily new, in a sense of like today new. It's more like new as in within the past few months or so. And by that, like past few months, yeah, it's not new at all. It's actually pretty old. And so I'm actually hungry. Sorry, I'm responding to a message but let's just go over this list. Let's go over this list and just see what ChatGPT has. Good morning, James Felt. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate you. Let's see what ChatGPT is talking about here. So the first thing it spat out, cutting edge cinema cameras. Yeah, I guess you can say that. The Blackmagic URSA Cine 12K and 17K. Blackmagic Design has expanded its URSA lineup with the URSA Cine 12K, featuring a full frame capable of 12K resolution at 80 FPS. Now, the 12K, Blackmagic has had a 12K for quite some time now, but it wasn't full frame. It's actually a Super 35. Let me see. Blackmagic URSA 12K. URSA, yeah, it's the URSA Mini Pro 12K, which has been out. Oops. Type. Not the Cine. URSA Mini Pro. And let me try to type this correctly. So the Blackmagic URSA Mini Pro 12K was released in July of 2020, which that has been quite some time. And then a few years later, they came out with the URSA Mini Pro 12K OLPF, which is it's a optical low pass filter that's included, and so that would make the camera Netflix approved. So if you're shooting something for Netflix and you're looking for a 12K camera, well, there you go, the Blackmagic URSA Mini Pro 12K. Which should wait. Hold on. The OLPF filter should have made it Netflix approved. Anyways, so then Blackmagic announced the full frame. So the first full frame camera from Blackmagic was the Blackmagic Cinema Camera 6K, which is a full frame 6K. It's got a similar sensor technology than the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Cameras 6K, and it's the similar body style as the 6K Pro, but it's got a full frame sensor. It still has 13 dynamic stops of range, or 13 stops of dynamic range. I don't know why I said it like that. Jeez, I feel like I've only been gone for like a little bit over 2 weeks, and I'm forgetting stuff. And so I was gone. I was away on vacation, and if you don't know, I was in Ecuador. And if you follow me, you've probably seen some of the videos that I've made from over there. It's the only thing I could do to really stay in touch with my creative side and stay in touch with, creating content and such. But anyways, I haven't spoken about gear much over the past couple of weeks, and it's been driving me crazy. So here we are. I'm getting a little boost from ChatGPT today. So that's the URSA Cine 12K LF. LF means large format, and that's a full frame sensor. And then there's also the 17K, which is let me see, URSA Cine 17K. The URSA Cine 17K is extremely large format. Trying to look it up online just to make sure that I got the data correct. Extremely large format digital film camera with a 65 millimeter sensor, up to 17K. It shoots 17K for giant IMAX style screens and center crop for cinema and television deliverables. Now, so both the Cine, really quickly before I get to the point that I was going to bring up, but they both, the 17 and the 12K, they both come with 16 stops of dynamic range, which is really, 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 really good. Like my Blackmagic, my Pocket Cinema Camera 6K has 13 stops, and it's phenomenal. Like it's wonderful. I can overexpose slightly. I can blow out the highlights a little bit, and then I can still recover that in post whenever I'm shooting raw, which is very, very, very nice to have. And so, and that helps me keep things very, very clean in the shadows as well. And so having 16 stops of dynamic range is just, amazing. And I know there's like the RE, I think the Alexa 35 has like 17 stops there of dynamic range. The Red Komodo has about 17 stops or something like that, which is great. It's awesome. It's cool. It's good to have, because you never know what kind of lighting situation you're going to be in. Whereas in the realm of filmmaking, sure, you have more controlled lighting if you have a big crew, a bigger budget. But if you're like, if you're a documentarian, then maybe you don't know what lighting situation you're going to be in, and so it's always nice to have that dynamic range to be able to cover your ass. Arizona Ron, yo, hey Arizona, thank you for joining in, Arizona Ron. So yeah, 16 stop dynamic range. The 12K is a full frame sensor. It's a 36 by 24 millimeter, and then the 17K is we can call it a medium format size sensor. So that's 51 by 24 millimeters. And so do the math there, and then it's just really, 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 really awesome. I would love to get one in my hands, hopefully someday. But anyways, that is according to ChatGPT. That's one of the new and exciting things that's going on in the realms of filmmaking and cinema cameras and such. The other camera that is new and exciting, well, again, not relatively new, but the Sony A1 Mark II, which I was looking up its specs, and sure, a $6,500 camera. Jeez, the A1 Mark II. I mean, it's packed with a lot of features. Really, 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 really a lot, like, interesting features. Or let's see. I mean, I would expect this. I would expect this from a $6,500 camera. I'm not going to be like, I'm not really judging it, other than if I'm going to spend $6,500 plus tax on this camera, I better be getting something out of it. It better be doing something. So we're looking at, it's a 50 megapixel resolution camera. There's like this long list of features, but I feel like that's just to show that, oh, sure, it comes with all these features. But optical 5-axis image stabilization achieves 8.5 step performance at the center. High sensitivity, low noise, wide dynamic range. Of course, you better have that dynamic range. You're spending $6,500 on a camera. Let's see. Better S-Log matching with Cinema-Line cameras. Sure, okay. Now you have like a kind of like a crash cam, and a very expensive crash cam. high resolution 8K, 4K recording for impressive realism. Wow, impressive realism. Jeez, the marketing lingo. Breathing compensation. I've seen this in other Sony cameras as well. Breathing compensation. So if you pair up a Sony lens with the Sony camera and you turn on breathing compensation, so then when you're pulling focus manually, you won't see the focus breathing. But it has to be with, certain specific lenses on specific cameras. There's a little side note there. I won't go look for it. Let's see what else. High performance electronic viewfinder. Oh my lord. Come on, man. Dual slots, CF Express Type A. Yep, you're gonna need fast cards if you want to shoot 8K video. Efficient data transfer, high speed 2.5 G based T wired LAN. Wow. Sure. Fast, smart, and detailed. Stunning high resolution. Advanced movie functionality. Comfortable operation. It's supposed to be like ergonomic or whatever. Fast delivery and broad expandability. English. Environmental consideration and accessibility. I mean, I could do a lot of damage with a 10-year-old camera, so that's new and exciting in the world of cameras, according to ChatGPT. Now, let's look at innovative lens technologies. Number two innovative lens technology is the first lens up is, well, it's actually only one lens. The Sony 28-70 f2 G Master lens. Alongside the A1 Mark II, Sony introduced this fast zoom lens, offering a lighter and more affordable option compared to competitors catering to both photographers and videographers. Sure, 28-70 is a standard range for full frame cameras. F2, you don't like we're familiar with the 24-70 f2.8. F2 comes in a little brighter. You get a little bit more light, which is always helpful. But with Sony cameras, like, you can really bump up the ISO and compensate for the light that you're not getting and still get a clean image. So is it really crucial to get this lens? Maybe not. If you don't already have a 24-70 2.8, maybe consider getting this one instead. I don't even know. I didn't even look up how much it costs. Sony 28. Let's see. It's coming in at $2,900. How much is the 24-70? There's the 24-70 comes in. Is this the Mark II? The Mark II comes in at $2,300. So, wow. Wow, that is insane. The 28-70 comes in at $2,900, and the 24-70 comes in at I got this hide. I don't need that. $2,300, $29, $23. That's a $600 difference for just a little bit more light. Just a little bit. Jeez Louise. I don't know about that. There's got to be some more stuff. You got to give me something else other than a little bit more light. What else you got for me? Let me see. Full frame, ultra fast standard zoom, 4x linear AF motors, floating focus, declicked aperture, which does the 24-70. The version 2 has a declicked aperture. 11 blade diaphragm, 2470 has... I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think so. It's pretty much the same lens. Let me see what this is on B&H. Wait. 11. Yeah, same thing. 11 blade diaphragm. It's basically the same lens, just a tiny bit brighter. Nah. I mean, I'm going to go no, not worth. Not worth 600, not worth if you already have the 24-70. And so, yeah, bye-bye. In audio, the HyperX QuadCast 2S microphone. This is a podcasting microphone. This microphone features over 100 individually adjustable LEDs for customizable lighting. I'm like, lighting? What do lights have to do with microphones, with audio? So then I was confused. I was like, maybe ChatGPT is tweaking or something. And I went and I looked it up, and yeah, there are LEDs to make it look, cool for your gaming channel, for your podcast, whatever you're doing. If you're into like RGB lighting, if your set has RGBs and you want to kind of like blend everything together so it's consistent across the board, then you can customize the lights in the microphone that kind of make it look all techie or whatnot. It's for the kids. Multifunctional controls and high quality 32-bit recording make it suitable for professional audio recording. That's interesting. 32-bit recording in a microphone. I pulled it up earlier. Here it is. I'm going to look at it again. HyperX. This is right from the website. You can get a headphones and a microphone. It's a bundle for only $165.99. Interesting. I wonder what kind of connection is it. Let's see. I don't know. Doesn't really show. Oh, wait. That's a wireless headset. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, it's a USB microphone. Oh, is this the one? Oh, this is the one. I was looking at the different one on the website. So, there's a mute button on top. Very interesting. There's a mute button on top. There's a volume knob for the headphones on the front. Interesting. So there's a VU mix meter microphone. Oh, you can change it. So you can change the knob setting. So you got your microphone gain, headphone volume, monitor mix, and then your VU meter. So you can actually meter. That's very interesting. Four selectable polar patterns is crazy. Cardioid, omnidirectional, bidirectional, and stereo. What the heck? What kind of microphone is this? Where's this microphone when I first started podcasting? This is wild. It's got a mute button on the top, bunch of cool LED lights. I might have to pick one of these up just to check it out. Very, very interesting. It says best-in-class audio recording resolution on a consumer USB gaming microphone. Coming in at $200 on Amazon. 200. I don't know. I mean, if you don't have a microphone already, this one seems like pretty legit. I like the features. You'd have to test it out to actually hear. It says 32-bit recording. I don't know about that. How is that going to have 32-bit recording? Doesn't say anything on. Let me see. Doesn't say anything on the ad. I didn't see it on the website that it said 32-bit. Let me go back to the website. There's nothing on the website that says 30. Oh, there it is. There it is. Here we go. The 32-bit, 192 kilohertz advanced audio capability enables the mic to deliver unmatched clarity and precision while maintaining exceptional audio fidelity. Well, that'd be something to consider. All right. Next, pretty interesting. That microphone is not bad, according to the specs. Next in audio, Rodecaster. Now this thing really kind of like took me by surprise. Kinda did. Rodecaster's familiar. We're familiar. Like we know Rodecaster, or not Rodecaster. I'm sorry. Rode is known for audio stuff, microphones. I don't know about recorders. Mainly microphones, shotgun mics, lavs, all types of microphones, on-camera mic, off-camera mics, whatever. And so I think around 4 years ago or so, they started getting more into like podcasting. So they came out with the Rodecaster Pro or the Rodecaster and whatnot, and which is a pretty cool device. And then they just kept improving on that. And now recently they started getting into the video aspect of podcasting as well, seeing that it's becoming very, 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 very popular. Not just audio. And there's a lot. I'm in a Facebook group, a podcasting Facebook group, and those people are just like, ew, video? What are you doing? Oh my God, that's not a podcast. That's not a podcast. You're not a real podcaster if you're doing video. Get out of here, dude. You kidding me, man? Bro, it's 2025. Spotify lets us put our videos with our podcast. Like, you can watch video podcasts on Spotify. And so get with the times. Anyways, Rodecaster video console. It's the Rodecaster video. Rode's all-in-one production console is designed for live streaming and broadcasting, featuring multiple video and audio inputs, customizable scene buttons, and advanced mixing capabilities, aiming to bridge the gap between podcasting and broadcasting. Now, sure, Blackmagic has already come out with this kind of stuff. There's actually a lot of other brands that come out with, video streaming stuff, like it's video mixers, HDMI mixers, live streaming, such, and it's nothing new. However, because I own the A10 Mini Pro. The A10 Mini Pro is pretty great. However, it's terrible. It's a terrible video encoder. Very, very bad. So I can't even stream within the A10 Mini. I have to use software like OBS in order for me to stream seamlessly out to platforms. And which, whatever. It's a workaround. Now, there's different tiers. There's different models for the A10 Minis. There's the A10 Mini Pro. There's the A10 Mini. There's the A10 Mini Pro ISO. And then if you want to get even more crazy, or if you want to get crazier, you can get the A10 Mini Extreme, A10 Mini Extreme ISO. Now, what is ISO? What's the ISO? That's the ISO model is the one that I really, 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 really want. Why? Because I want to be able to record each HDMI input separately apart from the program feed, right? So with the A10 Mini Pro, I can record the program feed. I can record anything that is being sent out to the program. So as I switch, it's going to record everything. However, it will not record each individual input separately, which can be very, very helpful when you get into post-production. So let's say if you miss a switch from one input to another, you miss from one camera to the next, or maybe somebody said something and you didn't switch it in time, or you switched to the wrong camera, or you switched to the wrong input, and you're like, holy crap, now that part is screwed up and I can't go back and fix it because I'm recording the program feed. Now, with the ISO, that changes everything. With ISO, you can actually, especially with the A10 Minis, they will create, if you have the ISO version, it will create a DaVinci Resolve project with all HDMI input, all the HDMI inputs recorded, even as well as the program feed, and it'll put it on a timeline. And then all you would have to do is go to that moment where you screwed up, and you can actually fix it. You can cut it exactly where you wanted to cut it originally. So that's a really great way to really save your butt whenever you're recording and live streaming at the same time. The live stream is pretty much screwed. Whatever, it's live, you can't really do anything about it. But if you want to go back and upload it to like Spotify, or you want to upload it to your website and whatnot, you just got to go back and just make that tweak, and you're good to go. So that's why like ISO is extremely important for me. Another important thing for me is like having multiple outputs. So being able to, so the A10 Mini Pro has one HDMI output and one USB-C output, which, you know, it's I've been making it work. I didn't realize I needed more outputs than, you know, in the past. And the main reason why is because, well, the one HDMI output I use to view the multi-view, so all the inputs coming in, I can see it on the screen, and I can decide from there which camera or HDMI source I want to cut to. And then the Type-C, I use that to connect to the computer, and so that OBS can pick it up as a webcam, and then it's going into OBS. Now, I wouldn't have to do that. I would like to record internally as well with the ATEM, instead of having to rely on like OBS, recording on OBS, which again, I've been making it work, but you know, when you have those little features, little extra features, it makes life that much more easier. And so I would like to be able to connect a hard drive to the ATEM and press record, but then also have another Type-C output, USB output, to the computer so that I can stream it on OBS. And I wouldn't have to stream it through OBS if the internal, encoder was working properly, so that I can stream directly from the ATEM Mini. But unfortunately, you know, it's trash, and I cannot do it. Like I tested it with the fastest internet, and I still end up, it still ends up getting bogged down. The cache ends up filling up. It's just ridiculous. So I've given up on trying to stream from within the ATEM, and I just go plug it into OBS. There are other devices. So ATEM has the bigger ones like the Television Studio, the 4K. They have the ISO version as well, and that has a lot more buttons, a lot more features that you can do in there. But now going back to this Rodecaster video console, now this took me by surprise because I saw it's very similar to the ATEM Mini. Where it's got only four inputs or whatever, and it's got, what's it called? It doesn't even have XLR. It's got like a 3.5 millimeter inputs for audio. But then looking at the Rodecaster video, this thing really took me by surprise because, like, I'm like, okay, fine. I see the front panel, and sure, it's very similar. There's not as much buttons as there is on an ATEM, which it looks kind of confusing if you ask me. I really have to get it in my hands to understand how it all works. But what's more important to me is all the I/O, the inputs and outputs. So looking at all the inputs and outputs, I was really blown away because sure, you've got the 4 HDMI inputs, but now you have 2 HDMI outputs on this thing. You've got 2 XLR inputs. You've got 2 audio outputs. And then actually you got 4. You got 2 for stereo headphones, 1 and 2, and then you've got a left and a right for speaker monitors. You know, if you want to run it to, in studio monitors or whatever, for audio. And then you've got like 5. Let me see this thing. It looks like 5 outputs for USB, which is nuts. Oh, and you've got, interesting, you've got a USB, oh no, I'm sorry, not USB, a micro SD card input, I wonder what that's for. That's very interesting. So you got a computer USB going out to the computer for like a webcam or whatnot. Then you've got a SSD that you can plug in and record to that. You've got two audio. I think that's audio, two audio USB inputs. And then I don't know what this gear icon is for, which is cool because now you've got multiple Type-C outputs, even Type-C inputs, and then you've got the multiple audio outputs, the analog audio, and then you've got XLR inputs, and then you've got two HDMI outputs. One can be the multi-view and one can be the feed, the program, which then you can send the program feed over to a splitter and then use that splitter to hook up to multiple different encoders so that you can multi-stream to a bunch of different platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, whatever streaming platform that there is, you can do it, which is very interesting because my only option that I was thinking before I found this thing was, okay, I need the A10 Extreme, the A10 Mini Extreme, because it has two HDMI outputs and two USB Type-C outputs. But now looking at this would be a kind of like a better solution because it's still a smaller form factor and it gives you that multiple outputs that can really come in handy. And so let me really quickly, before I talk about price, I wanted to see what this micro SD card is for. Okay, recorded directly to an external USB storage device. Yes, including, then this thing does ISO recording too, so that's very, very interesting. Now, the great thing about the Blackmagic ATEMs is the ability to create the DaVinci Resolve file, which is, it just cuts time down by, a lot. I really want to know. I don't see anything about the SD card in here. Let's see, SD. Nope. There's nothing on the website about it. Maybe if I look it up in the manual, I might find something. Let me just keep scrolling down. It's got to say something about that. There's like a micro SD slot, and I want to know what it's for. Now, it could be for like loading stuff into the Rodecaster. Man, that thing is crazy. Record on board directly to connected hard drive or USB storage device. That's for so I don't think the USB. I'm sorry, not the USB. I don't think the SD card is for recording. It could be for like loading. It could be for like loading files, stuff like that. Here we go. Here's all the inputs, outputs. Nope. Is it a good video encoder? I don't know. We'd have to find out. Now, as far as pricing, this is kind of like where I'm iffy because it's $1,200. The A10 minis come in at around $300 to $500. The Extreme comes in at like $800 to like $1,200. So you're right there next to the Extreme, the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, which is, it's got a lot more inputs. It's got 8 HDMI inputs, whereas this only has 4. And sure, all the Type-C outputs is great, but how many do you really need? So for $1,200, I don't know if it's worth it. It would have to be a really, really good video encoder built in order for it to be worth it. And even then, you can always just get, separate video encoders and connect your HDMI out program feed out to a splitter, and then just split it up and send it to those encoders, depending on how many streams you want to have, how many platforms you want to stream to, I should say. So $1,200. I'd rather just get the Extreme. There's so much that you can do with the ATEM. There's a lot you can do with this thing. It looks like pretty much the same thing. For audio, I don't think. I mean, I have a separate mixer. Right now, I'm actually using my new Zoom H1 XLR and using that as an audio interface. I'm not using the Zoom LiveTrack L8 at the moment. It's before I left, I cleaned up. I put all this stuff away because I wasn't going to be using it. And then I just bought this thing. I'm really excited to use it. 32-bit float recording. It's more for like something to replace my Tascam DR40 recorder, something that I can use on gigs, and also record 32-bit float, so that way I don't have to worry about clipping or anything like that, or make sure that I get the audio quality that I need. And I found out that this thing is also a USB audio interface. It's not the best. It's not like all the other interfaces that I'm used to. I can't monitor the audio the way I was hoping or thought I could. But whatever, we're making it work. It sounds pretty good. I checked it out. Anyways, yeah, so I would, like, for my podcast, I would have multiple people, so that means I would need a mixer with multiple channels, and then plus also being able to run audio from the laptop and video from the laptop feed and such, like stuff like that. But anyways, that's enough about the Rodecaster video. Now for lighting, I don't know about this. Ari's Lighting Solutions. Ari continues to innovate with products like the Sky Panel series and the Orbiter, offering versatile and high-quality lighting options for filmmakers. Yep. Mobile filmmaking trends 28 years later, filmed on iPhone. The upcoming sequel to 28 Days Later is reportedly being shot primarily using iPhone 15 Pro Max cameras, highlighting the growing trend of mobile devices in professional filmmaking. 28 years later. So this movie is expected to release June 20th, 2025. 28 years later will be released in theaters. And it looks like, yes, 28 years later was filmed using an iPhone Pro Max. It was the biggest movie to date to be primarily shot on an iPhone. The iPhone was rigged with aluminum cage. You know, I got a cage for my phone. And lens attachment adapter to create more traditional professional setup. Lens adapters were used to attach higher quality lenses. The iPhone was used to shoot in ProRes at 60 frames per second, which requires a lot of storage space. Why was an iPhone used? The iPhone 15 Pro Max was used because it was the best option available at the time of filming, not because the filmmakers were trying to make a statement about iPhones. How was that the best option available? Why? What does that mean? The movie was shot before the iPhone 16 series was available. The movie's release in 2025 is expected to boost Apple's cinematic reputation. Okay, I don't know. I don't believe that the reason was because it was the best option available. There's got to be some marketing hype to this. Apple had something to do with this, whether it was Apple or whether it was like the director or cinematographer. Who knows what it was, what deal they made. But I don't believe that it wasn't about making a statement. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Let me know. I don't think so. Adam Bradnetta says you should do a live with the Aperture Storm 1000C at Film Diner. You most definitely better believe it. I am down to do a live stream and do a live review on that light. That'd be awesome. Let me know when it gets into the studio. Check your internet connection. Facebook is telling me. Whatever. And let's see. Okay, so that's very interesting. iPhone for all of you iPhone filmmakers, or for all of you asking, hey, I'm a filmmaker. I just graduated school. What camera should I buy? Or hey, I've got this much money. What's the best camera to start off with? Dude, I was away on vacation for like a couple of weeks, and I was going to take a whole setup. I was going to take my DSLR. Sure, it's old, but yeah, like it pulls better quality than my phone most times, and so that's all I was really thinking about, and then it's like I was bringing the camera, I was bringing my audio recorder, this 32-bit float recorder, and I was bringing maybe a one, I think it was just one lens. I was bringing some lights. And I was going to try to do some live streams while I was over there, but it didn't happen because I was just too busy with other stuff. But anyways, like, I ended up not taking it because I was worried about going through customs and going through, like, security and having to explain, like, what the hell I'm doing. Or, like, even, like, the battery thing was, like, an issue because I was looking it up on the airline's website. Or on TSA's website about batteries and how they need to be stored and protected and whatnot. And I'm like, dude. And then they only let you bring a certain amount of batteries. Like, you can't bring more than, like, one battery, or more than the camera battery plus one additional one or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't understand it fully, but I decided not to take it with me. I decided to use my phone. I brought my phone cage. I brought my monopod. But I didn't use those much either because it was just like everything was run and gun. Everything was run and gun while I was over there. And I used my phone for everything. From photos to videos. And even I had a little microphone, wireless microphone, that I also connected to my phone and used that as well. I used the microphones for voiceovers for my videos, and they all did a hell of a job. Like, seriously, it took a lot less space in my luggage, and I didn't even, I brought the lights, but I didn't even really use them, so I could have just left the lights here, because I wasn't doing studio related stuff, or I wasn't doing something where I can set up lights. And I also wanted to be kind of incognito. I'm not going to walk around with the phone and a phone cage and a light mounted on top of it and whatnot. It's that's just not, I already stand out. I already stood out so much over there, being American, being tall, being, more light skinned than most people over there. So, and I just didn't want to stand out even more. But I made it work. Using your phone's like an amazing tool right now. You can do so much with it. High quality photos, high quality video. You can edit right on your phone. There's just so much that you can do. You don't really need a camera these days. There's this whole niche of iPhone cinematography. Go join a Facebook group that focuses on iPhone cinematography. Make a movie with just your phone. Make content with just your phone. You don't need all this other fancy stuff. I'm telling you. All right, so that's cool about that. That's the mobile filmmaking trends. Yeah, go make something with your phone. Stop crying. Stop saying, I don't have a camera. I've done paid work with my phone. I don't want to hear it. Hybrid camera systems, the Nikon Z6 Mark III. The Mark III offers 24 megapixel sensor. Nothing crazy there. 6K 60 FPS raw recording, making it versatile for both photography and videography. Interesting. Nikon has never really been my brand. I've never really been interested in Nikon. I'm more into Canon, Panasonic, Sony. Nikon, I've always viewed it as a photographer's brand, but hey, they took over Red, and so we'll see what's coming out of there. There is some cool stuff coming out of there. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. They just put. Speaking, I don't have a camera. Yeah, no video because what's it called? I just came back. It's my first time really stepping foot in the studio and actually doing some work. But the studio is not presentable at the moment. My lights, I think I took most of my lights down. I forgot why. And then also I've got like gear everywhere. So next time I'll have it ready for you. I'm doing some work in the studio to kind of get a new setup going, and hopefully I can get that done pretty quickly. But the next time, next time we'll have video. But I mean, you don't really want to look at me, do you? Well, you can hear me just fine, right? Just pretend you're listening to the radio. How about that? Let's see. So Nikon, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Nikon, especially since they acquired Red. Podcasting gear, comprehensive podcasting equipment. Starting a podcast requires essential gear such as quality microphones, headphones, and recording software. Options range from basic USB microphones for beginners to high-end XLR microphones paired with mixers for more control. Of course. Yeah, duh. Speaking of podcasting. Yeah, speaking of podcasting, let me just... Where did I put that? Maybe it's right here. Nope. Okay. Hold that note. Because I want to mention something. I just don't have it right in front of me. I'm going to look it up real quick. Skip. Come on. Speaking of podcasting, which we're over here, and we were talking about, I don't know why it's gone. It should have been there. That's that one. Where did it go? Huh. Here? No. Not there. Strange. Disappeared? How does it do that? Alright, anyways. Here we go now. Speaking of podcasting, why does that sound weird? Podcasting. What's it called? I have been podcasting for quite some time. I think we spoke about this in the past. Let's see, when did I start podcasting? I think around 20... I started listening to podcasts around 2014. I want to say 2014. Early 2014, like in the winter, maybe like January or something. And mainly it was to help me with my job at the time. Podcasting was very interesting. I really enjoyed listening. I really enjoyed hearing the experience of other people. I got into like IT podcasts. I started listening to a whole bunch of them because I was in IT. I was working in IT. And then I started listening to like filmmaking podcasts, more of it was like a screenwriter's podcast, so a screenplay, whatever, someone who wrote movies, and that was very cool too. So I listened to a lot of podcasts around then, and then I finished the IT podcast. I'm like, dude, like what happened? This guy stopped publishing podcasts. I'm like, I needed to do something about it. So I started creating my own, because by the time I decided to create my own podcast, I got some more IT experience, and I decided to talk about my experience and whatnot with the IT world. So I started podcasting around. Why does this sound weird when I say it? I started podcasting around like 2015-ish. Or was it 2015? No, not 2015. I'm sorry. It was 2015, 16, 17. I guess maybe around 2017, I want to say, because, and then I did a podcast with my niece and my nephew. We had some fun. And around 2017, early 2017 is when I started podcasting. And then I tried different setups. I tried different microphones. I tried different methods of getting the podcast out there. It started out with, USB microphones, and then now it's like XLR microphones, and then it was podcasting microphones. Now it's condenser microphones. Now it's like, we started to include video as well. And so with that said, I've been through some setups. I've been through some sets. I've been through some equipment. And I've almost seen it all. Now I am a producer for a YouTuber with 2 million followers. And I pretty much run all of the equipment. I run the live stream. I also edit. I do post-production work as well, and it's been fun. It's been a really cool experience. And like when I jumped in there, I was familiar with everything already. Even though the equipment wasn't exactly the equipment that I'm used to, or like not used to, but like the actual specific brand or the actual specific model, I may have not used, but I've used different ones very similar. When it comes to like audio mixers, video mixers, microphones, softwares, like there's really nothing that can stay hidden from me or that I cannot figure out. And so with that said, I've included onto my website, let me see if anybody's here. I've included onto my website that you can hire me to pretty much help you build your podcast studio, because you want to build it the right way. You want to save time. You want to save money. You don't want it to be a hassle. Which microphone should I get? How do I even do this? Do I need software? Do I need a computer? Do I need, how do I get my podcast out there? What platforms? How many platforms are there? How can I stream to multiple platforms at the same time, right? Do I need to stream to multiple platforms at the same time? Starting a podcast is exciting, but figuring out the right equipment, setup, workflow can be overwhelming. Without expert guidance, you risk wasting money on unnecessary gear, struggling with poor audio quality, and spending hours troubleshooting, avoidable mistakes. Avoidable. Keyword avoidable, right? All these things could be avoidable. That's where a professional podcast studio consultant comes in. By hiring an expert, you'll skip the guesswork, get a setup tailored to your needs and budget, and learn industry best practices from day one. Whether you're launching your first podcast or upgrading your current setup, professional consulting ensures you get the studio quality results while saving time and money. Let's build your podcast studio the right way, efficiently, effectively, and stress-free. So I've got pricing on my website if you want to check it out. If you want to hire me as a consultant, I can help you build your studio. I can help you select gear. I can help you, figure out how to get the best quality out of the gear that you're getting, even if whether it's high, you got a high budget or whether it's a low budget stuff. if you're running into trouble and you need help diagnosing or whatever troubleshooting, we can set that up as well. We can do like monthly follow-ups where I check in on you and see how you're doing with all of your podcasting stuff. Maybe there's a change that you might want to do, or maybe you want to start adding stuff. Maybe you just want to do audio only and then maybe video later. There's different ways to do this. There's different types of equipment that you need for depending on how you want to do it, how you want to deliver your podcast. And so, yeah, you can reach out to me directly if you want to send me a DM, or you can send me an email. The web page that I have this on is not public yet. I'm still tweaking it, making sure that it's going to be perfect and easily understood. So that way there's like hardly any questions. But if there are any questions, you can always just reach out to me. So yeah, with that said, thanks for hanging out with me. I kind of went way over what I wanted to, but that's okay. Thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace. Bye.